Yo, what's up? And you know what? There's been a lot of shit to talk. There's been a lot of talking about this person. Mostly video gamers like myself really hate this guy who seems to be the number one suspect of video gamers everywhere. And his name is Jack Thompson, also known as the idiot that knows nothing about video games. Let's start this video.
Attorney Jack Thompson and also Paul Levinson, the professor and chair of communications and media studies at Fordham University. And sir, thank you both for being with us. We appreciate seeing you today. Jack, I want to start with you today because you are a bit of a controversial figure. You helped write the Louisiana legislation that would ban these sales. Why do you think it's necessary to have a
No, he
ban?
didn't.
It's not a ban.
A ban to minors, I should say.
Yeah, well, because 40-some states have laws that prohibit the distribution of sexual material harmful to minors. We have a movie rating system in that regard, and the industry itself labels these games as adult or mature. And therefore, we're simply saying to the industry, if you're going to label these things and admit that they're harmful to minors, stop selling them to them. The Federal Trade Commission found last month.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to say what comes up in my mind.
Any kid of any age can walk into any retailer and buy any game like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas despite the game rating. So we're simply saying
Bullshit.
Stop selling these adult games to kids, and apparently
Bullshit.
the industry is afraid of what's coming their way because this law was passed unanimously in Louisiana, by the way, by every legislator. Just 2 days ago, the industry had a press conference in the Rotunda Capitol, and they said, we're going to stop selling these games to kids. It's about time. It's 10 years too late.
Paul, he brings up some good points. A lot of people wouldn't want these games in the hands of kids. What do you think about these laws?
I don't want them in the hands of kids either, but the laws are totally unconstitutional.
Why?
Because
So
we
true.
have a First Amendment that says Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. Last time I checked, entertainment was a form of speech.
Although keeping them out of
True.
the hands of minors, we do that with movies, too. You can't get into a rated R movie if you're under 17.
That's wrong also. The fact of the matter is there's not a scintilla of scientific evidence that any movie or video game, however violent, has ever caused any damage in the real world.
Okay,
And
let
there
me...
are no
Good
shortage
guy,
of
man.
perverts and criminals out there who do real damage, who kidnap, kill people. That's who the legislatures should go after. That's who the lawyers should draft stronger legislation to punish.
Jack?
True.
The professor apparently doesn't know.
I don't know what I'm gonna talk about.
The American Psychological Association, the largest...
I'm just gonna pull shit out of my ass.
...issued a report in August of 2005 saying that there's a direct causal link between the play of violent video games by adolescents and minors and violence that we're seeing in the real world. So, Professor, how
Not
in the
true.
world could you say such a thing that there's no evidence? There are 30-some studies in the last several years participated in by the American Medical Association and others that draw a direct link between violent entertainment that teens play and real increased aggression and violence. So it's simply a misstatement.
I don't know what I'm talking about still.
No,
To
I didn't
suggest,
misspoke.
well, you can't,
unfortunately,
you're like...
are ignorant of statistics and don't really
I think-
understand those.
I think the teacher's actually much better than
Psychological Association is ignorant.
the college teacher's actually much better than Jack Thompson in terms
Most
of.
studies show correlations between
No.
watching video games and violence. They do not show causation.
No,
And the
True.
fact of the matter is levels of violence
What's the
have
difference
not...
between correlation and causation?
There's a big...
Correlation means that two things are happening at the same time. Causation means that the first thing causes the second to happen. So the fact of the matter is, you can look and see that levels of violence have not increased.
Oh, no, they
with
have.
the
Paul
advent
Levinson,
of
you're
video.
smart.
For example, here in New York
Wait, do
City,
I get to talk
here
now?
in New York City,
No,
South
you don't get to
Central
talk,
levels
Jack
of
Thompson.
violence
Shut up.
decreased over the past 10 to 15 years, beginning with Mayor Giuliani and his cleanup of criminals in New York.
Jack?
Okay,
So let me
yeah.
just finish.
Do I-
And it
no,
was
no, no,
precisely
he's
during
finished.
this period of
Let me
time
talk.
that there was an increase in the sale of violent video games.
Okay.
So how do you explain that, sir?
Okay, that's called a filibuster.
Let's call a filibuster. I don't know what I'm talking about again.
Go ahead.
ABC News found last month and reported that there's in fact an increase in teen violence. And
Bullshit.
so your figures are incorrect. Secondly, the American Psychological Association found not correlation but causation. The AMA said
what?
6 years ago that there are now literally 1,000 studies that showed the causal link, not the correlation, the causal link between violent entertainment and
not
teenage
really.
violence. And in fact, the U.S. Supreme Court
Why is Mortal Kombat right
last year,
over
which
there?
struck down the juvenile death penalty, cited brain scan studies that we're relying on in our case in Alabama that show that individuals who are in their teens process this type material in the part of the brain that
shouldn't
leads to
show a game
copycat
which
behavior.
Jack Thompson is normally against.
Sir, is out of touch. The entire
Not
American
Mortal Kombat.
Psychological Association is out of touch. And you're the only one who thinks there isn't a correlation.
Gentlemen,
there is no correlation between violent video games and people.
End it here. What I will do is ask
you moron.
I feel like we have a lot of information to go through here.
We do.
All right. Jack Thompson again and Paul Levinson, a professor and chair of communications at media studies at Fordham University.
Okay. Jack Thompson's a moron. Paul Levinson's a smart one. There's no detail here. You might as well give up the fact that Jack Thompson's a moron, because everyone knows it. I'm not pointing any fingers here, but he's a moron. And you might as well give our... I might as well not watch any more videos for a while. Until like Christmas time or whatever, because it's Christmas time. But still, there's still the fact that Jack Thompson got distributed out of his gaming business or whatever. That's good. Keep him away from video games forever. Good. Fine with me. I don't give a crap about him. I hate him. All gamers need to hate him. Or dislike him. Now, to all those soccer moms that think, oh, he's doing all this just to spite all all the violent video games there are. You're the ones that are buying the violent video games in the first place, soccer moms. So don't come crying to me about anything. Alright? Alright. KTS the Gamer out.